I am Cherish K. Pastor, a faculty at Pangasinan State University, Lingayen Campus. I am grateful to have this opportunity to present to you my research papers. First was entitled Turnover Intentions and Work Contentment of Private Institutions, Academic and Non-Academic Personnel in Dagupan City. Personally, this study was related to me as I was a non-academic personnel from a private institution too. Yes, the turnover intention of an employee is an important factor in any organization's bottom line. Changes in the employees can affect a business's productivity and the overall performance of the organization. If the organization can easily measure the employees' turnover intention, the organization can determine the likelihood of staff leaving the business organization. In the study, the researcher investigated the status of level of job satisfaction and turnover intentions on academic and non-academic. This serves as a basis for proposing recommendation in the form of a strategic management plan for creating and maintaining their job satisfaction. Also, the objectivity of this study is to help us to determine the turnover intention of the teaching and non-teaching personnel in private institutions. This aims to answer specific objectives such as the profile of the respondents, the turnover intention of the personnel, difference between the level of the intention of academic and non-academic personnel. For the methods used, the researcher will apply the quantitative study. As for the materials used, the respondents of this study are the personnel from private institutions in Dagupan City. A total of 120 respondents from the three big institutions, 60 for the teaching and 60 for the non-teaching personnel, that is equally distributed using convenient sampling technique adapted from different studies. The frequency and percentage also were used in the primary objectives, and average weighted mean was used in determining the interpretation based on the Likert scale used. Please see below rating scale. As per study, the results were as follows. Right column results are for the non-teaching, while at the left are for the teaching personnel. For the nature of work, as we can see here, most of the respondents for both teaching and non-teaching personnel are satisfied with nature of work. This implies that those working in private institutions found out that the nature of work is satisfying. In terms of interpersonal relationships, most of the respondents for both non-teaching and teaching personnel are satisfied with this. For the pay allowances, most of the respondents for both non-teaching and teaching personnel are dissatisfied with their pay allowances. But as we can see sample from the second question, in the sufficiency, which is the sufficiency of income to meet family expenses, the 1.92 of the 60 non-teaching personnel are dissatisfied with this item, while the teaching personnel are neutral with this. In terms for the working environment, most of the respondents for both teaching and non-teaching personnel are satisfied with this. For the conducted trainings, most of the respondents for both non-teaching and teaching personnel are also satisfied with this because these were provided by their employer. In terms of the management policies, most of the respondents for both teaching and non-teaching personnel are satisfied with these policies within their organization. For personal growth and career development, most of the respondents for non-teaching has a neutral statement, while in teaching personnel, they are dissatisfied on their personal growth and career development. In terms of grievance and redressal, most of the respondents for both teaching and non-teaching personnel are satisfied with their employees' management policies within the organization regarding grievance. In terms of management and employees, most of the respondents for both teaching and non-teaching personnel are satisfied with this within their organization. In terms of empowerment, most also for both teaching and non-teaching personnel are satisfied with this within their organization. Lastly, in terms of the career plan for non-teaching personnel, the results, most of the respondents disagree, while most of the teaching personnel agree. Also, as we can see sample on the fourth question, which is if they have a chance, are they going to transfer to a different company? Majority from the teaching personnel extremely agree with this. While most of the non While most of the respondents in the non-teaching have a lower turnover intention, it means that they are willing to stay in the company. And majority of the teaching personnel have a high turnover intentions. Yes, the study is limited only to the three big institutions of Dagupan City, Pangasinan. The profile of the respondents was removed in the result of this study and correlation was not computed. For the recommendation, the human resource management and the top management of the private institution should develop an intervention in order to maintain the manpower of the organization. Still, the employee satisfaction and retention have always been important issues for any organization. Thank you.